A huge, though unconfirmed, military operation happening in the Middle East. So let's get right into what they're claiming. The source video kicks things off with this really heavy phrase, reportedly from Donald Trump: major combat operations. Now, why does that matter? Well, according to the report, those are the exact same words used to announce the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Just hearing that tells you we're supposedly talking about something massive.
So, what exactly is being claimed here? The source says that on a recent Saturday, the US and Israel kicked off a huge joint military operation against Iran. The report even talks about videos that have been floating around online, apparently showing explosions in Tehran and other Iranian cities. Okay, let's dig into the specifics of this alleged attack, because according to the source, this wasn't just some random strike. Oh no, this was a highly coordinated assault that was aimed right at the heart of the Iranian state.
I mean, just look at this list. It really shows you how strategic this whole thing was supposed to be. The targets weren't just military spots like the Parchin base. They allegedly went after the Ministries of Defense and Intelligence, the Atomic Energy Agency, and even the political nerve center, the area with the Supreme Leader's Office, the Presidential Palace, and the National Security Council.
So how did they do it? The source claims this was an operation from both the sea and the sky. It points to two massive U.S. carrier strike groups in the area, the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Sea and the USS Gerald R. Ford in the Mediterranean. I mean, together, that is just an incredible amount of military power. And with those carrier groups, you get overwhelming air power. The report estimates that these two groups have a combined total of around 150 combat aircraft ready to go, forming the backbone of this whole aerial assault. And it's not just about the hardware, right? The number of people involved is just staggering. The source says these carrier groups represent a deployment of up to 40,000 military personnel. That alone tells you how serious and large-scale this alleged operation was. So you have to ask, what was the goal here? Why an operation on this scale? Well, the source doesn't beat around the bush. It argues that the public statements from both American and Israeli leaders pointed to one single explicit goal. Now, this is where it gets really fascinating. You see this parallel messaging that the source lays out. On one side, you've got Trump allegedly telling the Iranian people the hour of liberty has arrived, urging them to take over your government, and even offering immunity to forces who lay down their arms. And right in sync, Netanyahu reportedly frames it as the removal of an existential threat. The source presents this as pretty clear evidence of a unified goal, regime change. But an attack of this magnitude is never going to go unanswered. It just wouldn't. And the source immediately gets into Iran's reported response, describing it as both fast and powerful. The report claims Iran hit back immediately. We're talking ballistic missiles flying toward Israel, sirens going off in Tel Aviv, and Israeli airspace shutting down completely. U.S. facilities were apparently targeted too. The source even alleges that at least one missile hit near the U.S. Fifth Fleet's base in Bahrain, which, wow, would escalate things dramatically. So you've got attacks and counterattacks allegedly flying all over the place. How does the source make sense of it all? Well, it pretty much boils the situation down to a few key points to help understand what could happen next. Okay, so the report really emphasizes three crucial things. First, the sheer scale of this suggests it's not a one-and-done kind of strike, but a multi-day campaign. Second, and this is so important, airstrikes alone don't bring down governments. The real question is the internal reaction. Are Iran's military and its people going to fracture? And third, let's not forget, Iran can hit back hard. It has missiles, drones, and control over the Strait of Hormuz, making the next few hours absolutely critical. And all of this leads to the one central question that the source material leaves us with. Beyond all the missiles and the military maneuvers, the outcome of this entire reported conflict really hinges on one thing. Will the regime's internal unity crack under this immense pressure? According to the report, that is the huge unknown that's going to shape everything that comes next.